Talmud.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome everyone to our class in Dr. Talmud. What we've done to this point is discussed Meforshim. Okay. Now the Dr. Talmud mentions the general rule of how Meforshim work, and we did that. And then let's get to that place here. And then what we did is we actually went through the in-depth discussion of Meforshim. So let's do his little introduction here. And right in the beginning of the first sentence, he says, now here's a checklist of things you should look for in the Meforshim. First, al-ezel lashon hakasav medabo meforsh. Divrei maskil is extremely important. That's where he puts his pen down is where he wants to talk about, not 2 words before and not 2 words and 1 word after. So that's the first rule. The second, l'stakel ma hu asher hu mosif u'ma lashon Gemara. What is the Gemara? Always look at the Gemara itself. What is he adding to what it already says? He can't be just repeating the Gemara. So what is he adding? Now, when you understand what he's adding, now you have to say, okay, what's the kavana of him adding those few words? As we said in Derek Funas, now we can talk about it. What is he saying? What's his nosei nasu? What is he saying? More than what the Gemara is saying. And now, what's his kavana? What is he trying to do? So now here we have a checklist of the Dr. Talmud. He says, a mefarish either comes to metaken lashon. He fixes the language. He said in our Tunis it says chayav, it should say chayav, for instance, or mefarish inyan. We're going to explain that a little deeply, but basically he says that there's 2 reasons why you have to give a parish. Either because beginning people are not aware of external premises, or the lashon is very difficult. So we said we gave an example of the word mava in the Mishnah. The word mava in the Mishnah is not a classical Torah word, and for that reason we have Rav and Shmuel arguing what it means, and they're trying to bring riots from the Tanakh to what this word is a remiss to. Is it Adam? Is it Rega? Because we have, if it meant Adam Regel, it should say Adam Regel. It's a Shinui Lashon. So one reason why Mefarish talks is because the language is sussum, it's closed. Don't know what it means. And the other reason is because there's outside premises that you have to have in order to understand what's being said here. Okay, you have to understand if you're dealing with Kachim. So there's a lot of things the mission is on the expert level of step number 25, and you have to be tuned in to other Gemaras and background information to understand what's being said here. So that's Mefarish inyan. The third thing that a Mefarish is doing is Mitarat Zakusha. That means there's a problem with the text. We said inside the Gemara itself there's a hidden kasha, we said. Okay, the Gemara itself is Mefarish, that there's Arba Aras Nazikin, and it has a kasha. Why should there be 4 of them? One should be told of one should be told of the next. And if you have that kasha that really they look to be the same av, that you can make a billion av from one to all the other ones, and I'll tell you, no, lo harizek haris. So the mission itself is Mefarish, that the Arba is Mataras Akasha that you should have had. So that's what a commentator will do. The other one is Miniya Safek, bring up the question. Usually if you have some sort of doubt what the Mishnah means, okay, so you can bring up that. You can share that in our terms. And the other thing is, number 5, is Nishma mi Perish Achir. You want to say what you're saying to avoid the simple meaning of the text. Like he said that Hashem stuck his hand in Mitzrayim, right? So Hashem doesn't have a hand. So therefore, we have to mafarish that it doesn't really mean a hand. It's a mashal to his power. So even though the text says he has a hand, it says he put his hand in Mitzrayim, so we have to tell you not to read that text, dafka. It's really just a mashal. Okay, so that's Nishma mi Perish Acher, or one of the famous. And number 6, then check out Gearses. So that's his short list of things that functionally what a Mefarish does. Okay?
We're going to see some examples of these?
Yes, and we're going to go now, if not only examples, but I'm going to just skip right here. Okay. Here's Siman Yud Beis spells it out, and I just made it nice, big, and red. And he's Meforish because ein koach b'metchilim v'ayin b'seifo b'lashon hahu l'havino. It's just beginners don't understand what's being said, and that's either because you need a Hakdama, either because it's awesome. It's awesome. I should make that in blue. It's awesome Chosem. And why? Because you need Hakdamas b'richutz, or it's a double there. I did do it right. Either you need external information, or for instance, you have to know what an Av is in Avraham Tzadzikin, or it's a strange thing like the word Malva. Okay? Then it's Kedei L'Hotzi Mei Das Acher, so Perish Acher. That's the second one. Okay. The third one is L'Hishomem Mi'akafto Tiyufta. He has to protect you from some kasha. And then there's L'Takan Lashon. Okay.
What happened to Menias Safek?
Let's go. Very good. Excellent. You didn't bring it up here.
I know, because I was wondering what that meant. That's what I was waiting to see.
What exactly? Menias Safek means, and we're going to see an example of Rashi, that he brings up a question. He says there's a lashon here. He doesn't solve the problem. He just says, wait a minute, this can be, in other words, what's the difference between a kasha and a shela? Now, it's interesting he doesn't bring it up here, and I don't know the answer to the reason why he doesn't. I was very happy I made the same observation. What's the difference between a kasha and a shela?
Okay. A kasha is a difficulty, a shela is that you want to know information.
Exactly. So a shela doesn't attack, okay? And a shela means, so when I'm a safek, his lashon safek means shela. That's first of all. Okay.
Oh, okay. So.
Okay. It just means a shela.
Okay.
Okay. So it just means that we have a question here. What this means. Okay. But not that this is a contradiction. There's no contradiction here. But there's a question that has to be raised. Now we're going to see an example of that. Let's put on the Gemara. Okay. You have the Gemara up there.
I have the Gemara. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's put that up on the screen, and we'll give you you'll be the presenter. Okay. Can I do that right now? So.
No, I did it. I took care of it.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so now let's look at Rashi, and let's see if we can see which one of these things he's doing, okay? So here's the first Rashi, Arba Havas Mezika.
So Avos Karilanach Dixim Bakra, Behedya, Uvagmar Rashi knew it told us. So Rashi is explaining what an Av is. Doesn't draw
so
straight.
he says two points here, right, in Rashi, correct?
Yeah.
The first is Avos Karilanach Dixim Bakra Behedya. That's the first point Rashi makes. And the second point is that the Gemara's Meforish Hai Nihu told us. Okay, that's the second point. The Gemara is going to explain what the Tolas are. Those are two separate issues. Okay, now what is the first thing that Rashi is doing? Okay, let's get in our possibilities. Okay, which one of the possibilities is doing? Is he Matakan Lashon? Is he Meforish Inyan? Is he Matar Sakasha?
He is being Mefarish and Inyan. He's Mefarish what the word always means.
Exactly. Okay, and the reason he's doing it is because
we don't know what an Av is.
Now, the simple person would say that this is because you're a beginner and you don't know what an Av is, right?
Right.
Right? But the, 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 the depth of this question really comes only when you study the Gemara later on. That brings the other possibilities of Avos, Rav Osh, Rav Chia, and it says our Mishnah is fine. It says Avos Mikal V'Gedolos, right? But the other Rav Osh and Rav Chia, they use the word Avos and they bring Avos that don't have any Tolos, like Shomrim, they put in. Okay, so the Gemara answers over there because Avos means that things are, things that are mafarish in the pasuk are called Av. So that means it's a secondary use of the word Av.